The IT professionals in your school and in your school district are probably taking a huge pay cut to do what they do. The average starting salary for an IT professional right now in current year at the time of this filming is about $50K a year. Average salary over time is about $80K. Your IT professionals are making somewhere between $30 and $40K typically. Also, they're probably getting the same benefit plan as you are, which is pretty bad, as opposed to what they could be getting in the corporate world. And they work a lot of hours, just like you do. So their dollar per hour rate is not very good. They'd probably do much better to work at a help desk for some company, but they're here. They're working for you. They're working for your students, and we have to appreciate them, and we have to build good relationships with them because, when the whole internet.com thing goes down at your school, there's massive problems. So instead of getting frustrated and lashing out against your IT person, it's probably better to try to help them out instead. That's just something to consider when you're interacting with your IT professionals. I understand that when stuff isn't working, when the internet.com goes down at your school, or the buttons that you're pushing aren't doing what they're supposed to, you get mad and you want to lash out. I would highly discourage you from lashing out against your IT professional because they don't get paid enough to put up with your temper tantrums. So be very nice and patient with them because they have a lot of power in the school and in the school district. I'm fairly tech savvy. I know my way around a keyboard a little bit, and I know about the mouse buttons and that kind of stuff, but sometimes my stuff breaks and I can't fix it. I don't either have the access to fix it or the supplies or whatever, and I need to put in a work order and get somebody to help me. So if I put in a work order and they're like, it's that jerk orchestra teacher that's always mean to me, they're probably not going to sprint down to your office and start working on your computer. Any more of the computers that they give us to work on are just basic workstations. I mean, look at this thing. There's not much you can do on it, and they put some kind of like NT Windows on there, so that's really locked down. You can't install anything on it. You can basically, out of the box, just check your email and do eSchool, and that's about it. And that's annoying because sometimes there's something that I really need to do and I don't have the software. Like sometimes I want to be able to edit an audio file and I have no software that can do that on this thing. Or sometimes I want to be able to open up a Sibelius file or Finale or something, and I don't have that software on here and nothing can read it to print it out, and I forgot to have a PDF from it. So what do? If you have a good relationship with your IT administrator, a lot of times they will go ahead and sign on with their administrator password and install some stuff on your computer. They don't like to do it a lot because of all the viruses and worms and whatever, and if everybody just starts installing their own stuff, especially freeware, willy-nilly, then the whole network can go down again. So that's why they like to keep it locked down. But if they know you and they know what you do, and they know that if they help you out, you're going to be responsible with it, sometimes they'll take care of you. The other thing that you need to understand about IT is that if every computer is different, they're really hard to support. And so if this person has this software package and this person has this software package and whatever, it's just, and different hardware and all sorts of stuff, it just becomes impossible to do their job effectively because there's so much technology on campuses. And so they kind of like everything to be standardized so that a lot of times what they'll do is instead of, getting into the nitty gritty stuff and trying to troubleshoot, they'll just do a disk reimage and poof, it's back to normal. The disk reimages aren't going to have your specialized software that you use for orchestra that nobody else in the whole school district uses. So when they reimage your disk, and a lot of times they'll do it every summer, you show back up to work and, hey, all my stuff is gone. You got to have them put them back on again. And sometimes there's a new IT administrator and you got to build new relationships, but that's just part of the gig. There's other stuff that you might need support with that's not computer related. Maybe you have a printer that's not working. Maybe your printer runs out of ink. Maybe you have a copy machine that's not working. Our copy machine is never working. Maybe that copy machine needs toner. Maybe it has a jam and you can't solve the jam. Maybe your computer breaks and you can't fix it. Maybe your projector bulb burned out. Maybe you need a portable projector. Maybe you need a portable projector screen for like a banquet or some kind of parent meeting. Since the pandemic thing, we've been going to a lot of virtual auditions and stuff, and that's been just an IT nightmare because we've had to have different workstations with different audio recording devices, and these computers they give us right off the bat don't come with very good interfaces, and sometimes they don't even have mic inputs at all. They just have a headphone jack, and we have certain software and certain software licensing that we were having to deal with. So I was very grateful that we had a very supportive IT person that understood what to do. We got these audio interfaces with XLR cable ports so that we could just plug in regular microphones and actually make our students sound good. And we had to do all these workstations and everything to get our auditions going. So, that's something that I couldn't have done without the network administrator there, because there's no way I would have had access to all that stuff. So you want to make the IT people feel like they're part of your team too. So just like the custodians, give them apparel, t-shirts, hats, whatever you got. Feed them, invite them to events, all that good stuff. In addition, if you're fairly tech savvy, offer to help them with things, because they're really good at the computer side of stuff. You might be good at the audio type of stuff. For me, our campus technologist has my cell phone number, and sometimes when they're doing an event in the auditorium, especially during after hours or during non-contract times, they need to work lights, they need to work microphones or something, and the IT guy doesn't necessarily know what's going on there, so he calls me up, hey, can you help me? Boom, I'm down to the school, just like he would do for me. I'm going over to the school and I'm doing lights for them, doing audio, and that way it's like a reciprocal relationship. Also, sometimes at a faculty meeting, the principal wants to use a microphone or something, and they don't have a microphone, or they're trying to use the in-house system that never works, and I just say, hey, I got this, I'll go get a PA system, and then I'll set it up for them. And again, we help each other, we're part of a team, right? Sometimes the more you know about technology and the more tech savvy you are, the more you can get frustrated with your campus technologist, but just take a breath, calm down, and ask yourself, hey, what can I do to help, instead of what aren't they doing for me? And that's going to help you build stronger relationships with your IT professionals. So talk to you in the next video. We're going to talk about district transportation.